place, and not only do they care for that, they care about everybody here too. So they really do a phenomenal job, speakers, to teach us about not only, you know, the ethical reasons off our plates, and
we're gonna give our talk in a second.
There's secretions out of our. Also, they want to make sure that everybody gets, you know, the best choices for their own health and for the planet that we all share. They're amazing human beings. They're inspiring, and we're very grateful. They're going to tell us about the nonprofit today, aPlantBasedDiet.org, some updates about other things that are going on. Also,
make sure you come on out here. 10 a.m. record it for you guys, or play it live so you get to hear what we're doing with the nonprofit here in Southwest Florida.
All right, here is a round of applause. Woo!
Yay!
Thanks, everyone.
Well, thank you so much. Well, we got to get this. Denise will start talking here.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out here today. It's this location in Farmer Lakes. Happy to see everyone out here. Well, for the weather today, last
there we
year
go.
it was rainy. And then we got here and it was cold. The picnic table set up facing the video wall. So I think we got everything adjusted just right to see and get something to eat and camp out here for the day. So let me get started. There's Mike.
That's me. Yay! Hey, yeah, hold it close.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll make sure you guys can hear us because DJ Bass Driver is over there. I'm the least good-looking of the two. So that's how you tell. Yeah, I started the nonprofit in 2014 when basically I turned vegan. And since 2009, in 2014, I decided to give up. Basically, I wasn't even sure why at the time, but all I knew was I didn't know anybody that was like me, that was out there in an organization that could connect people, both online and also in person. And that's why we started the nonprofit. And I didn't know Denise then either.
I began my nonprofit president of my condo association back in Erie, Pennsylvania. So when I met Mike and he asked me to be on the board, I could help him because I already had a financial background as a product analyst, and I'm used to running things like budgets. So when
Denise knows how to do all that accounting stuff. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's fine. So it wasn't yet vegan. I didn't even know what it really was. I thought it was similar to vegetarian. It wasn't vegan, and encouraged me to read the China study, which I did, and then I got the connection.
Actually, if you guys were here last year, Dr. T. Colin Campbell he did a live video chat here on our video. He was supposed to be here this year, but about a month or so ago, we realized there was an issue with his schedule. I'll tell you about something else we got that we're involved with Dr. Campbell in less than a year coming up.
So I had lost my aunt and my grandmother both to diabetes, and I lost my dad to lymphoma. There's breast cancer on both sides. So I didn't know until after I read the China study that cancer isn't necessarily just genetic style. 1 in 3 cancers are completely preventable.
Yeah, we're going to hear more about this from Hippocrates Health from Brian Clement. So stay tuned for that about cancer and how it's not a definite thing. It's only a potentially temporary.
Yes. So I went vegan right soon after me switching over to a whole foods plant-based diet. I lost 20 pounds and run 5Ks together, and I weigh the same as I did in the 8th grade. So our slogan for our nonprofit is for people, animals, and the planet. I'm sure most of you are aware that plant-based diets are associated with body weight, lower cholesterol, lower blood sugar, less health problems in general. It can even help control arthritis because the diet is lower in saturated fat and higher in fiber. You can avoid all of these lifestyle diseases.
Right. And look, for one thing, we're only listing some of the things that we absolutely know about for sure. There's plenty of other health issues that are related, but I'm fairly certain that as time goes on, they will. They'll be how changing your lifestyle can change the way your genes are expressed and will change your health and will reverse. That's why I started the nonprofit, because of that concept that really appealed to me. Actually, it's been written about over the decades or centuries or whatever. It's even biblical. And also the diet that Denise is talking about is very specific. I want to also make sure that we talk about, because just because you're eating plants or not eating animal products does not mean, for instance, not get type 2 diabetes. It depends on exactly what you're eating.
Yes. So if this urges you to read the China study, or you pick up any of these other books like How Not to Diet, that Dr. Barnard's program for reversing diabetes, and also How to Prevent and Reverse Caldwell-Esselstyn.
Boy, that's not the book too.
Yeah, I'll get to that book in a minute.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch Dr. Esselstyn oil does to your arteries, just go to healthyveganfood.info for free.
Yeah, that's it. Healthyveganfood.info. Those videos, by the way, you guys, Dr. Esselstyn is. All right, you know he's a cardiologist then, right? He talks about how to reverse heart disease, reverse issues with the circulatory system, and it's total things he talks about is that you should never have one single drop of oil. You heard that? Have you heard Dr. You know why? It's well, we'll talk about it later in my book. But if you want to know all the, he says that, all the proof, he's got it. Go to healthyveganfood.info, watch these two videos, a talk that he gave. It's a 2-part talk, and each video is about an hour long. But he goes into why you want to have not one single drop of oil, and also how you can make yourself heart-proof. And this also, if you're wondering why it says, why do you go to healthyveganfood.info? Well, related to our own nonprofit certification. We have a certification that's called healthyveganfood.info. One of the things there is that you cannot have any oil in it, and this explains why. That's why it's at that URL. I'll go fast to let you guys know is somebody does have some healthy vegan food here today. It's self-illuminating over there.
Yeah, they're over by the other tent with the picnic tables under it.
Okay, over there, Self-Illumination Ministries. That is Emmanuel and Sarah. Say hi to them. They have at least 2 item certification. If you're interested in trying those out, just go over there and ask them for them.
Yeah, there's coffee inside this building here.
Oh, that's right. Their cafe has gone all vegan. That's not vegan on the menu. That's not available today. The only thing that's available today is their special vegan menu at the end. All the medicine there, aka the produce, to buy whenever you want.
Yeah, and have salads. So, yeah, not even olive oil is healthy for you. Don't let anyone tell you that the Mediterranean diet is best. People got healthy on that diet because it's not because of the oil. They got healthy despite the oil.
That's a good point. Does everybody understand that is better than the standard American diet? I mean, what isn't better than the standard American diet? The Mediterranean diet is better because you're dealing with more fruits and vegetables, right?
Right.
And definitely less meats and things. So that's why it's better. It's not optimal, and that's what we're here to kind of shine a light on. What if you really want to take care of yourself the best way possible? What way? Any way that doesn't involve animal products, we definitely do. But we also want to tell you what's best. Talk about this one yet? No.
No. So Alzheimer's has even been linked to the way to make it better or to halt it is changing your lifestyle.
Before you go on, let me talk about this a little bit. This is all related to the last slide. The last slide I talked about steam. What causes that? You guys know what causes heart disease, pretty much? Well, I'll tell you, there's high percentage of calories from fat. That's it. Doesn't matter if it's animal products, doesn't matter if it's plants. Calories from fat. And what is low percentage of calories from fat, by the way? I think everything over there in the produce stand, food is grown. It's called, that's what nature wants you to eat, right?
Yeah.
And so you won't, of course, there's oil added to the plants, although they do have some fat in it, they have it in the right proportions. Alzheimer's and dementia is just another level of type 2 diabetes. We're calling it type 3 diabetes. It's the same mechanism that causes the disease. And if it's the same mechanism that causes a high percentage of calories from fat, all you got to do is eat a low percentage to reverse it, right?
Yeah.
And let me also tell you guys that I'm 53. Okay, I'm not like some of you have how to age properly. I have watched all the people. My wife's 52. We've watched over the years, and I don't want to be like that. That's not fun. You know, we want to enjoy life, and that's why we're as many people as possible.
Yes. So, on the animal world, this slogan from PETA, there's no humane way to kill an animal that doesn't want to. It's not essential to the human diet. Protein deficiencies are uncommon in Americans, and the only vitamin that you need to supplement because you go, it is very easily supplemented.
And let's talk about protein for a second. Most people get too much for the wrong type. The type that, according to T. Colin Campbell of the China study, causes cancer in humans. Causes cancer in humans. So it's not the concern about the protein. We're going to get to it. It's actually the fiber. How much fiber is in animal products?
0.
That includes meat, dairy. You throw in there zero fiber. The problem is that 95% of humans don't get enough. And this is why the body starts to express disease.
So Mike and I aren't just all about diet, isn't you? Here's us in front of Yves Saint Laurent.
That's what Shannon and Evan were talking about. Yeah, that's us.
Yes. We don't want them to suffer, especially since it's not necessary. As far as our planet goes, since you're in Florida, I'm sure you're aware of the red tide issue.
Yes, right? I mean, who likes to go to the beach during red tide? Raise your hand. Your eyes burn. It smells.
Yeah.
It looks gross.
Yeah. Sugar contributes to this. To meet our healthy vegan food standard, we go for it.
Yeah. Let's explain how this works real fast. There's Lake Okeechobee right down there. And then you've got the rivers to the east and west that the Corps of Engineers, I believe, has to let the lake drain out east and west. Because it used to go right down south into the Everglades, right? Yeah. Agriculture. It's actually mostly all sugar. And is sugar part of a certified healthy vegan? Well, actually, it's refined sugar that's not part, right?
Right.
Actual real refined, that's what they're growing down there, right? The sugar cane that they are turning into white crystals, which has zero, all the nutrition is gone. That's what you do. You vote with your dollar. If you don't like red tide, you eat food. I cannot stress that enough. That's the only fix for this. There is no other fix.
And don't fertilize your lawn.
Yeah.
Organic.
Do organic methods for your agriculture, organic methods for your and only eat whole foods. White sugar is not or was. It never will be.
So deforestation is another problem for the environment. The Amazon rainforest keeps getting cut down to create cattle graze land, which is kind of
up in Florida too. The center of the state over there, there's quite a bit of animal agriculture. If you guys are taking a trip through lots of animal agriculture, cows and stuff, they run into the water as well.
And the land is being cleared to plant corn, alfalfa, and other grains that land could have been better used to grow food for people or to have some oxygen.
Yes, it's way more efficient eating only plants. There we are again. What the Asian logo looks like. It's healthyveganfood.info. And I think we just has a new slide. When you click on healthyveganfood.info, which I highly encourage you to do, because what I'd like to do is that if you feel this is important, that people eat the most health optimizing food, which also helps the red tide on that. So it's not just your personal health, it's actually optimizing the health of the environment. Then what we would like you to do is ask yourself. If there's no demand, they're not going to provide it. They only want us to provide what sells to people, right? So what makes up the healthy vegan food? Okay, let's take a look at it. There's a couple things. Number one, talk about that 95% of humans do not get enough fiber on a daily basis. That includes vegans. Eating the actual medicine, the actual food that's grown, which is available here at Farmer Mike's. You can pick it yourself. It's full of fiber. And fiber is what optimizes your gut health, which is in turn up well. The only other thing that contributes to your mental health more than fiber is daily vigorous aerobic, both things. Daily vigorous aerobic exercise and actually purposeful is even better. And guess what? All over here to that. It was me. Okay, I got my purposeful exercise. If I didn't build this presentation or anybody else's presentation, so that's what I encourage you to do. Find something you like doing. Do it every day. Whole plant fiber. That's number one. Number two, zero animal products. We don't deal with animal production. You may have heard that eating plant-based or plant-based diet is not the same as vegan, and technically that's how you that vegan is really it's an idea that we want to do as little harm to animals. But we are both a vegan organization and dealing with plant-based diets. So I want to let you know us out there, but we're one of them. So number one, full of plant fiber, whole plant fiber. Number three, we talked about it, no added oil. You cannot have any added oil or anything that can be healthy vegan food. Next one, no added salt or sodium. Now, restaurants say, well, we got to put a salt shaker on the table. I'm like, well, that's fine. You can have what he has to use it. No one's forcing anyone to use it. But once that salt's in the food, is there any way to get it out? There's no way. And I can tell you, you're getting way too much sodium. If you're not consciously on a daily basis, you're getting way too much. That's the average person, and that contributes directly to high blood pressure and the other things. And by the way, is salt a plant? Anybody where salt from? You get it from plants? Where's that? The ocean? Okay, where does it come from in the ocean? Where does it originate? It's a mineral, right? It's a rock. It is not. So if you've never thought about this before, you might recognize when you think it's not meant for humans. You're not meant to eat rocks. Nobody is. I understand how it was developed in our dimension, which is, by the way, free. But I understand that in the past, the refrigeration was hard. Freezing went. So what did they do? How did they preserve their food? They added salt, a great preservative. It'll also things to your body. It's great for the food to preserve the food, but nowadays you don't have to do that because we have refrigeration, so no problem at all. But the problem is that you're eating rocks, and there's two different types. If you add pink Himalayan minerals, and it does have minerals, it's still rocks. Okay, it's going to do. Yes, it's tasty. Yes, it's hard to get off. I think everybody's addicted to it, including me. Which is why I love the vegan food stuff. And the thing is, do plants, ever thought about this? Do plants, yes or no? Anybody know? The answer is yes. Have sodium in it in the level that you want, and is it the rock form of sodium? Form that does well in your body. It doesn't cause high blood pressure or other ailments. So this is why we don't allow salt in alcohol. All right, I know that you guys, alcohol's been around forever. We think it's on the way out, a little bit here and there, but what's the main problem with alcohol?
It's a group 1 carcinogen. Right here, kava culture is back there.
There's all kinds of like the Beyond Meats and burgers of drinks are out there now, right? Kava, Kratom, CBD, all this kind of stuff. Go get that.
No, there's
It doesn't cause cancer. You can have all three, right? And actually, I mean, the problem is nobody likes cancer. Nobody does. And if you that it's a group 1. What does group 1 mean? Is there any other level that's higher than group 1?
Probable of all cancer causing
agents. Yeah, it's only a question of how long will it take till you get it, not will you. If you don't believe us, it's all over. It's just that people don't like to tell you this. Okay, the last one is zero processed refined sugar. We got to update that. Refined sugar means that you're going to take something that's nature and you're going to change it. You're going to process it. You're going to refine it. So white sugar that we talked about that actually contributes. Weird. White sugar contributes to red tide. That is there's no fiber in it. There's almost no nutrition in it. But there's other stuff. What can people have besides that? And it's not like
we use dates or applesauce. There are lots of alternatives.
Yeah. Agave, maple syrup. These things occur in nature, and they're extracted or whatever to get them out. So, I think the maple syrup just flows out of the. All right, so that's it for that. And then this is our website, which has a plethora of information. It's crazy, which is why we're getting little snapshots. Do you want to say something about this one?
No, it's just recipes. My famous mac and cheese recipe is on here.
Oh yeah, it's okay. We were raised on this. It's only since 2014, as I mentioned earlier, that we started the nonprofit. And like I said, we want it to be healthy, right? We want to meet our healthy vegan food certification. So we put links on our website. Here it is, right here. If you scroll down, you get healthy prepared food and healthy recipes. Just choose the healthy recipes. I can tell you they're not from us because we're not going to make our own macaroni and cheese. So it means that we're not going to have any because all the stuff you can buy in the store is. I don't care if it's plant-based, but the stuff that we can make is not. That is.
Oil and no added salt. So if you don't like to cook, you can click on healthy prepared food, and it's like Plant Pure and Mama Says, where you can have food delivered.
Yeah, you heard of Plant Pure? Plant Pure is Nelson Campbell, the son of Dr. T. Colin Campbell. It's his company, Plant Pure. And by the way, we also have the movie Plant Pure Nation. If you guys have not seen it, I highly recommend it. It talks about basically a fun way, not in a doctor's office, in a small town in North Carolina where Nelson and Kim basically put people on their level of plant-based eating, which is disease reversing action for yourself in the movie. It's pretty cool. It's for free on our website. Just scroll down and you'll see it.
Yeah. So when people ask us where we get our protein, we like to ask where you get your fiber. If you're not eating plants, you're not getting enough fiber. So most they recommends 25 to 30 grams a day, and most Americans only get about 15 grams a day.
15. Okay, so like half. But, so like when we say 95% don't get short by a gram,
No,
you're like way off.
You're way off. That's why diseases happen. You're not clearing out your.
Yeah. So let me ask, if you guys, what happens to the fiber when you eat it? I mean, if it's this miracle thing, it must be absorbed into your body and upstream, right? No, actually, it's the exact opposite. None of it gets absorbed into your body. Thing that just passes through and literally, like he said, cleans out your intestines. Because the problem, like, who here is perfect? Raise your hand about what you eat. I can't even raise my hand. Everybody makes mistakes. You need to clean that stuff out. How do you clean it out? Fiber. What happens if you don't get enough fiber out? It's really disgusting if you think about it. And that's what happens, and this is why your body starts to complain, aka
hang out. So some people ask us, they haven't gone plant-based yet, what on earth to eat? So I just tracked our eating for 4 days, what we ate, and what our nutrition panel looked like too. It looked really good. So on a fruit for breakfast, maybe a banana for a snack, this huge salad with chia seed lunch, and maybe some more cucumbers for a snack. Those are fruit. And then for an evening snack, we'll eat this whole bag of crinkle cuts. It has no salt added, and there's no oil. We don't throw it in a deep fryer. We throw it in an air fryer at 45 degrees, because over 350 degrees will cause acrylamides to form.
Who's ever heard of acrylamide before?
Oh, good.
One hand. Okay, alcohol being a group 1 carcinogen, it is the absolute truth. I'm sorry you haven't learned it. Acrylamide causes cancer, acrylamide only happens when you cook something at 4 or above. So cooking's okay, just lightly cook things. That's
Yes. So we got 29 grams of protein here. That is plenty enough. This is over 1,000 calories. Probably didn't even show you everything we ate that day.
and look at, you guys notice the colors that we're eating over here? Do you think there's a reason why humans can see in color? There is, and I think it's because we're supposed to be able to identify the right fruits and vegetables. That it's something to think about. Why do we have color vision and animals don't?
Yeah.
Right? They don't need to see in color because they don't need to go. This is designed for it like it is for humans.
So we got 38 grams of fiber that day. It's really good. There's no limit to how much fiber you should eat.
Yeah. What happens if you get too much fiber? Actually, if you guys are kind of out of the fiber deal, and you don't need to eat beans, by the way, okay? Because what happens when you eat beans? I think everybody knows, right? But when you eat fiber, your intestines get cleaned out, and you're going to go number 2 at least once a day. You are. And you know what? You don't go number 2 once a day, at least. That's an indication that something's not working properly. And it probably is related to the fact that 95% of humans don't get enough fiber, because if they did, this would be flushing a lot more often, right?
Yeah. So you can see in the macronutrient pie chart that we have mostly carbs here, but they're whole carbs. They're plant carbs.
This again, this is kind of a theme of our talk. Salt, the salt that you sprinkle on your food, or the salt that's already in plants. Raise your hand if it's okay. You know. Let's see. What's another one? Said carbs. What is the best type of carb that you can have? The cook things, prepare things, cut them up, blend them, slice, or just an actual whole, which is nothing but carbs. It seems like it's at least 80% carb. Right? Well, it's the okay. And then the fiber too. Let's not forget about what we're talking about. We are not every 5% of humans don't get enough fiber. We are not saying go take a pill. It's not the same. The salt's not the same. Okay, the other one, the sugar is not the same. If you got refined sugar, then it's not the same. See that big bowl of pineapples? Do you think your body is going to treat the sugar in that big bowl? It will treat refined white crystal sugar? No, because the nutrients attached to it. It has all the water attached to it. Has all the fiber attached to it. How much is in white sugar? None, or negligible. Like, you need a micro in there. Okay, so what we're trying to do is tell you guys that, like my shirt says, I can provide all this stuff for you all. If you want to optimize your health, you want to eat as close to.
Yes. All right. This day, we have that whole blender made of slushy.
I got my weight training there. That's more of my daily aerobic exercises.
We don't even have to truck bottles of water. Whoever said you need 8 glasses of water,
another one.
they weren't.
Let me get that one too. Another, along with our theme, what's better? The plant. What's better? To take a bottle of water or to eat watery fruit? Which water is going to be better for you, no matter what's in that bottle? The plant water. The grown in the plant. That optimizes it for you. And in fact, we're not going to get into it, but there's a concept called hike, which is whether that water is actually attracted to other things or was repelled by them. I would say that things are actually not good. They're more hydrophobic state, whereas which is where it goes right into you.
It's absorbed better.
Yeah, I mean, it's like concepts before. I urge you to think about them more.
So on this day, melons for breakfast, a huge smoothie for lunch, and this huge salad for dinner. 1,100 calories, plenty of protein, and plenty of fiber. And it's.
Do we have to drink any water that day? I mean, look.
No.
Actually, can you go back to that watermelon? here, you see, I'm holding it above my head right there. And then below that is, and believe it or not, what we've done is we've been drinking watermelon smoothies. Anybody have watermelon smoothie? There's one. Okay. It's the best thing because how much of the fiber is taken out to make this like just chug down? None. All the fiber is still there. You're blending it up in the blender, but all of it's still there, and it goes down just like you're drinking some ice cold, fruit. It's not a juice. It's a smoothie.
So day 3, I had a chai tea latte. Still had fruit for breakfast. I ate this whole bag of cherries.
More colors. Look at all the colors.
Yeah. A big smoothie for lunch and this huge salad for dinner.
Is any of that colored by artificial colors and things, or no? It goes back to the plant being ripe. When the plant is ripe, it lets us know by the colors. That's why we can see it.
But they're good carbs. This day we had steel cut oats with blueberries and maple sweet potato with some tahini. Just a little tahini. We made our own soy milk, and here we made with his own sauce.
That's another one. Denise said we made our own soy milk. Anybody make their own plant milks? Well, let me explain why anyone would want to do that. First of all, when we're the theme of what we're discussing here is eat whole plants. How many ingredients, let's say ingredients are in one tomato? Just one, right? Okay. How many ingredient milk that you buy at the grocery store? You'd think maybe just soybeans and water, right? But that's not read what's on there. I don't even know what some of the ingredients are. Same with almond milks or whatever. So if you make organic soybeans and some good quality water that doesn't have chemicals in it from your tap, which I would not recommend, then you can make a better product. And that's why we do that. And the other thing is, you hit one other one, right? We love to eat pasta. You got to get whole grain pasta. That's the other thing. Whole grain rice, right, Denise? What's the difference between white pasta and white rice and whole grains? The fact that if it's not whole, if it's not brown, if it's more white, they take out what? There's still some fiber left, but not anywhere near what there was in that plant.
And you should eat your rice brown. Same thing with the pasta. Are we doing this slide?
Yes. That was familiar.
Yeah, last year's Veg Fest.
That was here.
Going to be here today.
Yeah, Chuck Carroll will be here in, I'll look at my clock, 28 minutes. 20 not here already, you might see him.
Last year, Dr. Campbell was talking about what happens when more than 5% of their calories from casein comes from cheese. They got
Dr. Campbell, the takeaway from Dr. Campbell is, actually, I see two things from Dr. Campbell. Number one is cancer. Number two is, what else causes it? Supplements cause cancer. The only supplement we take is B12. If you need to take another supplement besides, I would challenge you to think about, to rethink, is what are you eating or not eating? Because anything, which, by the way, do you have any idea what's actually in that pill? No. It may not be anything that they say is in that. But if you eat the plant, you know what you're getting. You need some more nutrients of a certain type, then look up online what you need to eat. If you need iodine, eat potatoes, sea moss, something like that, right? You don't need to take...
He explains that in his book, Whole, why you shouldn't take supplements and why they cause cancer. So this was from Charlotte County Veg Fest in March of 2020, right before the...
Dr. Greger was he was actually booked for 4 events we had that year. And we do like 12 festivals a year. So, and we're all volunteer, contributions. We are always thankful for that. But we have people like Dr. Greger, and also to mention, because we mentioned this before every time we show the slide, is that Dr. Greger is actually younger than us. And I'll show you my ID if you want me to. And Denise is 52, and Dr. Greger just turned 50.
So we do have a YouTube channel. You can follow to find out what we do. Restaurant reviews, anything that's plant-based.
The shortcut up on the top, basically, it's the same name as our nonprofit, but the shortcut is info. Plant-based videos and info. Like everything we do, we'll have like a some kind of event on there, and we will have just all basically whenever we go out to eat. So we know it's tough when you go out to eat. If you're trying to stick with the diet that we're describing, it's tough. We're out there doing it. So if you want some inspiration, tune into the channel.
Review plant-based milk. So if you want to find out what's going on, so go to plantbasedevents.info. That's our event, right? And just follow us. You'll get emails.
Let me explain a little bit more on this one. Basically, we have all these events. We've got like 12 festivals, 6 of them here in the area of Florida, known as Southwest Florida, and this is our biggest one, with Sarasota down to Naples. And we have plants to table events, which are, we have restaurant events, we have other events even too that are sometimes online. For our calendars, you don't need to follow us on social media. You just go to what Denise said up on the top. Plant-based takes you to Eventbrite. Okay, it's their Eventbrite website, and believe it or not, if you guys don't know, they have their own landing spot on Eventbrite, which we do, and you can follow us there. And we have like 3,100. So whenever you follow us, I think whenever we release a new event, I think the way it works, you will actually get some kind of notification saying that at aPlantBasedDiet.org, just the date of the SWFL Veg Fest 2024, and you'll find out. That way you don't have to. I think you get an email directly from Eventbrite. Is how that works.
Yeah. That works nice. So here are some of the events that we did just this year.
And that's yeah, all kinds of festivals, and there's the all-you-can-eat buffet. Actually, upper right corner. You guys been to that one at Spice Club in Fort Myers? That we have like over. It's only once a year, and actually, let me just describe it because it's basically probably my favorite for December of this year. So if you go on plant-based events, you scroll down, just RSVP. You don't pay anything unless you show up and eat. But what it is we described our healthy vegan food, right? And we said we know it is because we hardly have anybody participating. But these people, Spice Club, we've been working with them for like 5 months. In December is all you can eat, all Indian food, and everything meets our healthy vegan. And there's usually like 10 entrees, something like that at least.
Yeah.
Right?
There's appetite desserts. Yeah, it's delicious.
So I highly recommend you get on there and follow us. And just go to December. You're going to want to hear about it. You're going to want to go.
Yeah, we only do it a couple times a year.
It used to be a couple times, but now it's only once.
So we're involved in intentional community. This is a picture of some of the residents at Terra Fruitis. Do you want to say anything?
Explain, like, you're probably looking up here going, what's this eco village intentional? What's the purpose? And who's going to Ecuador? Why? Okay, well, let me explain. First, if you kind of follow along get the gist of what we're saying about how everybody has been trained wrong with the way they and trying to eat the right way where you're optimizing your health is difficult, mainly because so what you need to do ideally is surround yourself with like-minded individuals who are going to influence. The way I look at it, nobody ever stays the same, and me included. You're either getting worse. So if you choose to get better and not have to decline in your, which I don't want to do, like I said, I'm 53. So I want to hang out with the best people I can hang out, and that would include these people. These are private vegan communities. Let me say that right away. In order to get in, all right, private vegan communities, no animal products. Why are they in Ecuador? Along with what I've been saying about why it's important to eat whole foods, eat plants, eat vegetables that are ripe right off the plant, and eat them as fast as you can. Because if you buy them at the grocery store, do you have any idea when? No. Do you have any idea if your tomatoes were picked green and gassed to turn red? No. Actually, that's probably what happened. So you need to live in an area where ideally you would be able to grow your own fruits and vegetables all year round, right? Can you grow fruits? Can you grow vegetables in Florida here? No. Okay, so Florida is great. It's actually the best place in the U.S. And we have, because there's tons of open-minded people here, and the weather is awesome. But the weather's better next to the equator. This community is 3 degrees from the equator, which means that every single day is 12 hours of sun the same. And actually, the temperatures are the same. It's another. Does anybody live without air conditioning in Florida here in the summertime? you might die. Actually, I'd say if you lived in an enclosed structure and you didn't have any climate control in these communities, Denise. No, I mean, it's zero climate, a huge, giant, and resources that is not even needed over there. You know, you can live more in tune with nature and with improving the environment. And by the way, these communities, you guys have heard of the Amazon rainforest, right? Place with all the life, right? All the plants, all the animals. This is in the Amazon rainforest. You go to the far in the headwaters of the Amazon River in the rainforest.
Yeah, so it's called a rainforest because it's a forest made with the rain.
Yeah, we've been there many times. Denise, how large an extends over there?
There's none. The fruit just grows. We
Yeah,
have
you don't irrigate anything.
We're just recently cut down from trees. Those are growing right in our driveway in our house.
And what's best for humans? Why are we like this now? Well, if you look at some ancient texts, see where people were living, see what they're growing, see what they're eating, especially like the Bible, for that, right? I mean, this stuff is not new, is what I'm trying to describe to you. This stuff has been around. We got to the point we are now where, like, we got all this red tide and everybody seems to have some kind of ailment. That's where we are. However, we believe that can change and change rapidly for the better.
Yeah.
It's not moving. You have to get a little closer. I'll advance it for you. All right, may or may not know, some of you guys know, we just finished building a house in that community of terra frutas. All right, plants of the future. We think everybody's moving away from animal products. We think everybody is moving into their own health, taking control of your own health, and healing. These are things that aren't usually talked about. I believe it's the future. So in order for us to be able to show you what the future is, we wanted to where you could go to this community and you could live in a really nice house. This is the house we just built. Hey, look, it does look nice. It is nice. It's only a tiny home. It's got 2 bedrooms up on top of the balcony. Ski chalet only. It's in the rainforest. And then down below on the right is a full bathroom with a shower, double sinks, granite vanities in the bathroom, and then on the left is a full kitchen. Everything's made with native hardwoods. They don't have any pine over there. You notice? Because pine doesn't grow in the rain.
The kitchen has a cooktop, so you don't have to be a raw vegan to come stay.
Yes. The only restriction is that you have a structure, okay, where you have your own. Believe it or not, this is an upgrade, and you have your own toilet indoors. That's an upgrade because most people that live around there, they don't have that. And the toilets are composting there outside as well because the climate's mild, but it's also you can kind of stay in the area screened from the bugs.
Yeah.
Oh, and what's the rental rate on this?
It's on.
I'll have to handle it.
You can rent it for $400 a month in the community by contacting Charlotte, or if you're looking at it on Airbnb, you can rent it for $30 a day.
Yeah, and all the information on LaCasaMasAlta.org. We call it La Casa Mas Alta because it is the highest terra frutas, and Mount Terra Frutas, the peak of that is the highest, which is actually behind this house. And like he said, $400 includes electricity, includes internet, includes water. Does anybody know of any affordable housing here in Florida that remains? Because they don't think it exists anymore either. But if you could live here for $400 for a month, that includes where's all the food being grown? You got to go out to the grocery store, the mall, everything, right?
Right.
No, you don't.
Here in Florida, you do. We have, there are volunteers in the community who are interested in trees and things.
Yeah, we have more to go. Yes, we're going to plant an entire food forest. I think, what did you pick? Papayas, bananas, all the fruit, the tropical fruits. And we may be having, as some of you know, a similar project here in Florida as well. We're trying to, but this one we've been working on for 2 years. It just now, within the last month, has become available on Airbnb. So you don't. When you type in LaCasaMasAlta.org, you will go to Airbnb because that's where the list. All right, there's another community in the area, a magnet for intentional eco-village communities where they're growing their own plants. Climate control, low cost of living, you grow plants all year round, and you eat out of your backyard. Maximum feeling good. So Fruit Haven's another one. That's a much bigger community. I'll see if you guys want to buy some. We bought a large section of Fruit Haven. That community is probably the largest in the world. It's between 500 and 1,000 acres in size.
It's not the next slide. Zoomed in slide after
Yeah.
this.
So this over here, this is all the community, and that is Fruit Haven 9. That's up higher on the mountain. We have lots. Okay, now we talked about affordable housing. Okay, well, we're selling lots in there. They're like 1 1/4 acres. $3,400. And how much did it cost to build that house when you sold it? What was the budget on that house?
$40,000. We ended up spending about $45,000.
And we have grid electric too. We have to pay much of the grid electric. So yeah, you can be all in for less than $50,000. A brand new house made out of exotic hardwoods, granite countertops in the kitchen and bathroom, hardwood floors. And by the way, you're going to optimize your health, and you're going to be hanging around like-minded people. It's a whole new paradigm. I know not everybody's ready for this. We're just telling you it's out there because you probably didn't know.
People every part I'm interested in it.
There it is. Okay, so these zoomed in. We got to get a better, higher resolution than the picture is. But that Fruit Haven 9, where we have 50 lots of 1 1/4 acre a piece. We own that entire section of Fruit Haven 9.
Where is that located? It's not easy to get to.
Yeah, let me. If you guys want to look at this, well, she can describe the travel, but it's in southeast. It's near Gualaquiza. And one of the interesting things too, if you look online, they have a lot of resources where you can find. You'll see that the Amazon rainforest does cover that section of eastern. And I'll also tell you, without going into any more, because we got lots more to talk about before our time is up. People who are there picked those areas of the world specifically because they had a giant list to check about where they thought would be best for humans to live. And this area of the world.
Another nonprofit, LifestyleMedicine.love. The acronym LOVE represents low eating.
That's Dr. Shilash Rowe. If you ever saw Dr. Shilash Rowe, you know who he is? Acronym phrase: local, organic, vegan eating.
So I'm gonna figure out where to make a donation to it if you'd like. It's tax deductible. We're trying to get it to take off.
Yeah, and to tell you quickly why we have two nonprofits, what's the difference? Well, the shirt on. We produce all the events. We are a 100% vegan organization, and if somebody is thinking about getting up animal products to the point of health optimization, we have a whole we are involved in. Lifestyle Medicine Love, it talks about the concept of lifestyle medicine, which is your health through your own habits. That's what that's about, and we only want to talk about with that organization. That's me. If you're wondering why I keep talking about all this stuff, and why I think lifestyle habits are important, and why I have a business called Forever Young. That's my last name. It's my actual last name, as opposed to change their name to Young. Yes, that's true. The longevity industry, they've changed their name to Young. There's still a little research online. You'll know who I'm talking about. He has his reason for it, one still. All right, and this is a resource I was telling you guys about. This book is totally free. It's on your phone from nowadays, right? Yeah. Just simply go to, there's the URL right down here, LIVE.org, live to150.org. When you go there, just save that as a note, text it to yourself, I don't know. Live to150.org. It'll be the playlist on our YouTube channel. The book has its own playlist. And the book has 150 are the actual chapters of the book, and 2 are the introductory chapters. How to optimize your health. It's like a life manual that you were never given when you grew up, and nobody even knew enough to give. At this point in time, since the knowledge base is here, why not publish something that you all pay? You can look at it at any time. You can just listen to it if you're driving in your car. Like a lot of people put podcasts on. Look to 150.org. Start playing the videos. Just listen to it in your car instead of that, I don't know, brain rotting else you're listening to. Okay? Do something that's going to make you better. And that's what the book is. Easily accessible. And I want it to be comprehensive, and that's why it's so long. A quick thing, a quick cheat code here. You probably know from listening to food is it. Right? We got 10 minutes left. Okay. The food is the number one thing. Like if you 80% of your results are achieved from 20% of your actions. So what is the 80-20%? 150 chapters? It's the food. How do you find out what you need to eat? Go to chapter 42. It's called the food. That is your quick results if you want them. The rest of the things that you do day in, day out, I have a chapter on the blue zones. The blue zones is here, right, today?
Right. In that blue tent directly across.
Yeah, good. If you don't know what the blue zones is, go see the blue zones. The blue, basically, they're historical observational organization, I'd say. Why certain populations live to be 100 years or more. What were they doing? Well, it turned out they're genetic lottery, okay? And your genes, the expression of your genes is changed by your habits, changed by the food. So they found out it's mostly a plant-based diet over there. They can tell you all kinds of stuff. In fact, we are an organization. I have a chapter on the blue zones in the book where I go into depth as to why that's so important. I also talk about the new blue zones. You guys heard me talk about these communities, right? These intentional communities. These are people who did not just end up living there for generations on end. Would be considered more like pioneers, all right? But I believe that the internet is bringing people together that I would call the new blue zones. And you're not gonna hear that these are new blue zones for another 50. But I'm giving you the cheat code to figure it out. And if you want to be part of that and you learn more about these intentional communities, which is of course on our website under the intentional communities, or even be the new blue zones, and even events like this, the people that this event attracts are going to kind of, if you don't go to Ecuador, or even if you only go to visit, because we only go once a year for the fruit festival, right? That's my book. Live to 150 is free, and it's available 24/7. And then we have merch, which I need. I actually tore a hole in my shoulder putting this screen together.
Well, you've got something under your sleeve anyway. It's not organized.
Yeah.
If you're interested, if you'd like to have aPlantBasedDiet.org logo on your shirt, and you can order right from there. Just look for merch. There's all kinds of stuff on there. There's water bottles. I've got one over there. Coffee cups, socks, and whatnot.
Yep.
Check it out.
All right, and this is one of the things I started. If you were here for the video organization in 2014, before I even met Denise, I started this immediately. Got online, wanted to talk about things that don't involve animal products. If you're not a member, please go join vegan SWFL.org. 6,000 people in that group that are interested in local stuff that doesn't involve animal products. 2014.
Our other local group is SWFL Lifestyle.org. Join that.
Yes, so let's also, you all aren't aware, as we talked about, veganism is an ethical stance where you do not want to have any harm or little animals. doesn't necessarily mean you're going to optimize your health. So that's why we have two groups. One of them is the vegan group audience. The smaller one right here is the lifestyle group, which deals with the concepts of lifestyle medicine. And I hope that's the most important thing to you. Please join the group. This group is smaller. Like I said, the vegan group people, this one has like 1,100 people, but still a pretty sizable group for people in South optimizing their health, and that's all we talk about that in that group. This is a big deal that we talked about with Dr. Campbell. Let's see how much time we have. We have 5 minutes still. And you may have seen on the event we had to change it about a month ago, but we brought on some more people, new people. Instead of announcing this health optimization cruise. All right, and the concept here, the quick. Denise and I talked about this. Literally every time I have gone on vacation, I don't care if it's a vegan or eating just vegan food. Whenever I've gone on vacation, I have to recover when I come back. Can everybody else feel that way? You got to recover from that vacation, right? Doesn't matter if it's vegan or not. It has nothing to do. You wanted to put a cruise together that is going to optimize your health. That's what this whole thing is. So on one of the biggest, newest boats out there, and we are just taking. If you're interested in that, this sounds cool to you, go to healthoptimizationcruise.org. Health Optimization VP to our Eventbrite. We're not selling tickets yet, but all the details are there. Of course, the food. It's all about the food. And Dr. Campbell, we talked about, he's going to be there for a week. And 90 right around that time, so we're going to give him a big birthday party on the cruise ship. Right? So that's an awesome with Dr. Campbell for a week. Okay? We're only announcing 2 people. We expect to have more people as presenters, but 2 of them, Dr. Campbell and then Dr. Harrington. Anybody know Dr. Scott Harrington from Vegan Prime? Anybody know? 1. Okay, 2. All right, well, Dr. Harrington, you need to know who Dr. Dr. Harrington is in Florida. His practice is vegan primary care. He's not right around the corner. He will do telemedicine anytime in Florida. If you're in Florida, it's fine. And get insurance. This is a guy who knows everything about how to optimize your health, and he's an elite practice where you have to pay cash every time you see him. He will take your insurance. He's the person I know actually that's doing this, working within the system and taking your insurance. But the bigger thing is you get to hang out with this guy for a week on the cruise, right? In a hotel. These are the people you're hanging out with, and there'll be more to be announced soon.
Ship.
Oh, no, I didn't. We have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah. One of the biggest, newest ships they have, it's on the Oasis class. That's levels that overlook like this Central Park going down the center of the ship. And back of the ship, there's a pool, and it has stadium seating around it. So watch people do these dives and acrobatic things around the pool side of it.
So you're going to have fun. It's a boring health trip, okay? You're going to have fun. You're going to come back better than when you left. Well, vacation isn't like this. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to change. We're trying to change the paradigm of eating, real estate, and housing. We're trying to change the paradigm of vacations. That's what we're trying to do, and we know this is going to happen. So we'll do it ourselves. Oh, and where is Escape to Sea Travel? They're the ones that are doing the book. Where are they?
Here. They're on the other side of these tents right here. So we've got tents in the opposite direction. And please have a look around at all the vendors, because there are some aquaculture. You can't see them from here, so please.
Yeah, so going back, and let's quickly say that we have the plan. It's our farm to table. Get tickets at plants2table.org. Click on the one in Naples, Saturday in March. We hope to see you there. It's going to be an awesome experience too. It's local in Collier. It's the #2table.org. You have to buy tickets. Please, you can do the talking. I'll flip to the sides. You got like a minute.
That's Plants with Escape to Sea. You can always talk to her about tickets for the health optimization cruise. Instagram.
That's it. We're done.
Plant-based events.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to us.
I hope we've adequately described the new paradigm of vacation, real estate, housing, eating, everything. And we're part of that. And want you to tell them about these, please.
All right. Big round of applause for Mike and Denise, plant-based